Next is Peercast. So we've discussed earlier peer-to-peer, which is a broadcasting model. Now let's proceed to Peercast. So Peercast is a software solution that is designed to use a peer-to-peer network for streaming. So basically, yung peer-to-peer is the model. So Peercast is a software that we will use so that we could facilitate the peer-to-peer network. This means that listeners can also act as relays, redistributing the stream to other listeners. This can help reduce the load on the original broadcaster server. So when or how can we use this peer-to-peer model or the peercast? So we have here independent broadcasting. Content creators such as musicians or podcasters can use peercast to reach their audience without relying on costly broadcasting platform. So they are like what they call underground musicians or thriving artists who don't have the budget for bigger production. So what they can use is this peercast to share their music, and at the same time those content creators who want to share their art, their product, and podcasters who just really want to share information to the world, they can use this peercast solution. Next is community radio and media. Peercast supports grassroots and local community broadcasting by reducing infrastructure needs and costs. So, as we all know, as DevCom students, this is very important for us to relay this to our community and to other people that Peercast can be an invaluable tool when it comes to empowering community and pushing for development community work, because they can use this, or we can use this in sharing information, spreading educational updates, social awareness, and this is more affordable and budget friendly, and it's more effective. Next is globalized access. P2P or the Peercast facilitates streaming and sharing across regions where centralized systems may not exist or are restricted due to political or technical barriers. So basically, since online siya, everyone can really access throughout the globe, where other areas wala centralized system. Peercast is the solution. Next is IceCast. So IceCast is also a software where it operates compared naman to sa Peercast na hindi siya similar with the traditional media when there is a need, or traditional radio where there is a need of centralized system. Si IceCast naman, it operates on a traditional client-server model where the server streams audio directly to clients or to listeners. This model is straightforward and widely used in internet radio. So basically, there is a centralized system that would spread or share information to multiple users, but the thing is, multiple users cannot create; they just consume the content from that centralized system. Next is application. So when can we use IceCast? So IceCast is widely used in internet radio to power stations across numerous genres and communities. Broadcasters use it to host talk shows, share music, or create niche content that reaches global audience without relying on traditional AM FM frequencies. Its real-time delivery makes it ideal for live events and session. So for those traditional radio who wants to spread their program to a wider audience, they're having a struggle because, as we all know, AM and FM frequencies is just limited to certain geographical areas. But with the existence of IceCast, they can broadcast their music, their talk show to a wider audience and to reach more audience and to really expand their creativity and their program. So it's very effective, even though it's not the same with the Peercast. So IceCast is still significant. So when we talk about radio broadcasting, Peercast, IceCast, there's a need also that we discuss sourcing and copyright. So let's dig deeper to each one of that concept. So what is sourcing? So, from the lens of radio production, sourcing in radio broadcasting refers to the process of finding and verifying content to include in programs. This can mean gathering music tracks, conducting interviews, or reporting a news story. So, as we all know, radio provides not just news, but also music, information, ideas. So, the people behind the radio or the staff of a radio production or a radio network really needs to source their information right. there is a need for verified information. Hindi lang pwedeng kumuha ng information na hindi valid, verified, or credible because this can cause the spread of misinformation or what we call fake news to the listeners. And if this happens, nawawala yung credibility ng radio station. So there's a need for proper sourcing. At the same time, yung dapat yung music na ginagamit is very okay din and hindi lang parang kinuha without the copyright or without the permission of the owner or dapat binabayaran. We also have the conducting interviews. As you all know, there are radio programs that invited guests. So, nagsasourcing din siya in a way that the people who are invited in a radio program are credible and are really knowledgeable on the topic that is being discussed. So let's proceed to copyright. So we know what is copyright, but in the radio production, this means is a form of legal protection granted to creators of original works such as music, scripts, or recorded interviews. It gives creators the exclusive rights to use and distribute their work, ensuring they are rewarded for their effort and creativity. As we all know, it really takes a lot of creativity, originality, and unique mindset to really create music. So basically, dapat ina-honor natin yon sa mga people who created those music. Hindi pwedeng we will just use them without their permission. We need to ask for their permission to pay if necessary because this serves as a legal protection and it champions the right as creators. So as radio program creators, we should have what we call copyright. So hindi tayo pwedeng, kasi kapag ginawa natin yun, makakasuhan tayo. So that is copyright. So why are sourcing and copyright important? So there's a need for us to understand the importance of these two. We have here avoiding legal issues. Yun yung sinabi natin earlier. Adhering to copyright laws is essential to avoid legal trouble. Unauthorized use of copyright materials can lead to fines, lawsuits, or even bans on broadcasting. So as what we mentioned earlier, if we use music, ideas, script without the permission of the owner, they can file with lawsuits, or even ban the radio program in broadcasting. Next is supporting creators. Paying royalties and obtaining licenses supports the artists, writers, and producers who create the materials the radio stations depend on. So, as an advocate for arts and for artists, we should really follow this copyright and really honor those people who create arts for us to consume because it's not an easy job. It takes a lot. It takes their soul and their heart to create this. And by doing so, we get to pay their creativity. Next is credible content. An effective sourcing process ensures that the stories, interviews, or report aired are truthful and valuable to the audience. As what I've mentioned also earlier, as radio program or radio creator, it is our responsibility to broadcast information that are true, verified, and trustworthy. We should not be an instrument for misinformation and fake news. Next is maintaining professionalism. Following copyright laws and sourcing from reliable origins contributes to the station's responsible and professional broadcaster. So when we do these things, copyright and sourcing, we give an impression to our listeners that our radio station really adheres to what is expected from a professional broadcasting. This create trust and harmonious relationship with our listeners. So that's all for this report. This is very just so short. I would provide two guide questions for you guys to answer, and may we have a healthier and intellectual conversation. And may this is my last reporting, and see you around, and may we survive this semester. Thank you, guys.